What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this set of really long acrylic nails, complete with an elongated nail bed, some colour blocking and some encapsulated real flowers. So if that's something that intrigues you guys, then just keep on watching. So guys, diving right in with today's video, and as you can see I've already gone ahead and created a clear base. So I've popped on my nail tips. The tips I'm using today are the long nail tips by Glitter Planet UK, and now I'm going in to start working on the middle finger, and this one is going to be my French tip nail. So I'm starting with my nail bed area. So as you can see I'm going in with my cover pink. This one is by Naio Nails and it's natural beige, extremely beautiful. So I'm applying this as my nail bed. So I'm going in first with the reverse method, and I'm just basically forming the bottom of my nail bed area, getting it into the shape that I want, and I do this in a few different layers. So you will notice that I am starting to work on basically the bottom part, and then I'm going to go in with my acrylic colour block knife, and I'm just basically going to tidy up the edges, so when I go in with my next bead I already have the shape that I'm after. So with that knife, I'm basically just using that on that acrylic that's slightly set a little bit, and I'm just cutting off the sides so I have really sharp sides for when I go in with the rest of my acrylic later on. And it also just saves me time on filing and things like that. So again, I just remove any excess that I wanted, tidy up that nail as much as possible, and then I go in with the rest of my acrylic to finish forming my nail bed area. So now I'm going in with a slightly larger bead to form the stress area of this nail, and again I'm just tapping that into place, and I just add more beads as necessary. And again with my cuticle bead I just finish off by making sure it's as flush to that cuticle area as I possibly could get it. I can tidy it up a little bit later on with the filing, but I like to try my hardest just to make sure I've got everything in the shape that I want. So for my ring finger today, I'm going to be doing a sort of like little island here. So I'm basically first starting off again with that natural beige acrylic powder, and I'm applying this in an sort of like an oblong type shape right down the middle of this nail, and this is going to be the foundation for where I'm going to lay all of my glitters and my real flowers and things like that. So again, I'm trying to keep this as flat as I possibly can. So I'm basically working with wet beads of acrylic, and I'm just going in with the body of that brush just to push in the sides and create the shape that I'm wanting. And again, the great thing about this is there is no rhyme or reason to it. You could definitely go in and make it as long or as short as you possibly want, and then you could go in with your acrylic colour blocking knife and tidy that up if you wish. So it's super easy to do, and you don't have to worry too much about going in with your file or anything like that. So once I have gone ahead and laid that foundation of natural beige down, I'm now going in with my glitters. So again, using really small wet beads of acrylic, I'm picking up a tiny amount of glitter here. This one I'm using right now is called Wisteria, and this one is from Smileys glitter store. It's absolutely gorgeous, by the way. So I'm basically just sparingly adding that to the nail, and then I'm going in with these dried flowers that I got from Glitter Planet UK. I'm using a pink one and also a purple one, and I'm basically just again using really wet small beads of acrylic to apply these to the nail, and then I will once again go over them once I've popped them on, just to make sure everything is nice and secure. And then I'm going to go in with another glitter. So this one is from the Glitter Fairy, and it's from her Indian summer collection, and it's called Crocus. It is absolutely gorgeous, such a beautiful iridescent purple. It is magnificent. So I'm just basically applying this again to that nail, and then I am going to go ahead and just cap that part of my design. So when I do go in later on to fully cap everything and do my filing, I have a nice secure layer over all of my artwork. So moving on with the pinky, this one is just going to be a complete cover glitter nail. So I'm starting with a thin layer of Naio Nails pastel lilac acrylic powder, and I'm going to apply this to the whole nail. I don't need too much at this point because I just basically want it as a colour, because I am going to be going in with some glitter and capping the whole nail. So instead of making it overly thick, I'm just going in with a really thin wash of colour, and then I'm going in with that same crocus glitter that I used on the previous nail. And again, I am just using really wet beads of acrylic to apply that glitter to the whole nail. So I did start at the bottom because at first I was just going to be doing it from the tip of the nail, but when I saw the glitter I was like, nope, I'm doing a full nail of this because it's absolutely gorgeous. So again, I am just going to be doing a complete cover with this glitter, starting at the bottom and then just working my way up with wet beads of acrylic. So I have a really nice thin wash of this glitter, and then later on I will cap that nail so my glitter is protected. So guys, now moving on with the pointer finger, which is also going to be a colour block nail. So I'm starting at the cuticle area with a bead of natural beige, and I'm just applying this to the first half of the nail. So I go in once again with wet beads, making sure everything is nice and flush to that cuticle area and I have the shape that I want. And then when I get to where I want this to end, I just use the body of my brush to cut that so I have a nice sharp line for when I go in with my next colour. But I did end up going in with that colour block knife just to make sure everything was really sharp for my next acrylic powder. And then once again, I'm going in with that really beautiful pastel lilac acrylic powder from Naio Nails, and I'm just filling in the bottom half of the nail. Again, keeping it nice and thin because I am going to be covering this nail with clear acrylic and some nail art as well. So again, I don't want everything to be overly bulky, so I'm just using this powder as a wash of colour. And then my next step was to go ahead and encapsulate that ring finger with some clear acrylic. So I'm basically just bringing the whole nail into shape, covering that island completely. So when I go in to do my filing and things like that, everything is nice and even. And then as you can see, I've also capped my pinky, and I've now got my pinching tool on there just to make sure everything is nice and in shape. And then I did go ahead and leave that nail for a few seconds just so everything started to harden. And then once again, I popped on my pinching tool onto that nail to bring everything into shape. And while that nail is pinching, I move on to finishing off the rest of that ring finger. So I'm going in with another acrylic powder from the pastel range from Naio Nails. This is pastel pink, and I'm going to be applying this basically to where the bottom of that smile line is, and not quite at the bottom of the tip, if that makes any sense. I'm the worst of explaining these kind of things, but I'm basically just feathering that acrylic powder right down, and then at the tip of the nail I'm going to be going in with some of that pastel lilac. So I'm just working that into that little ledge that I created with my nail bed area, feathering that acrylic powder down, and then like I mentioned previously, I then go in with another bead, but this time of the pastel lilac, and I'm going to do the tip of the nail, feathering that powder up into the pink. And also guys, at this point your blend does not have to be perfect at all. Mine's most definitely isn't, and that is just simply because I am going in with some glitters and things like that in a minute, so I don't have to worry too much about those two colours looking overly perfect for an ombre at this stage. I just want the colours on there, and then when I'm happy and have built up the strength that I needed, I will be going in with those two glitters that I used on the previous nails as well. So first I'm going in with Crocus. Again, I have really wet beads of acrylic here, and I'm applying this to the purple part of that nail and then brushing it up into the pink. So again, I have that ombre part really covered, but it all blends in really nicely. And then over the top of Crocus, I once again go in with Wisteria, and I just use, again, really wet beads of acrylic to apply this glitter where I want. And then, as you can see, going from the bottom and just feathering that up into that pink acrylic. And finally guys, here is a look at the nails. Once I have gone ahead and encapsulated everything, I have also filed and buffed the nails. So this part of the design is now ready for my nail art. But before I start that, I did go in with a lint-free wipe and some nail sanitizer just to make sure I removed any of that dust and the nails were nice and clean for the next process. So guys, moving back on with that ring finger, so as you can see, I have filed and buffed everything into shape, and I'm now going in with a clear layer of Naio Nails Mega Gloss Gel Sealer. The reason I'm doing this is because I am going in with some gel polishes, and I wanted a smooth foundation to start doing that on. So I just covered that whole nail with a glossy top coat, and then taking my fine detail brush and also one of Naio Nails' pastel gel polishes. I can't off the top of my head remember which the name of this one, but I will go ahead and leave all the exact details of everything I use linked down below as always for you guys. So as you can see, I'm taking my fine detail brush and I'm just mapping out my little island here. I am now creating the sort of squiggly lines that I wanted in the first place, and then I switch over to the gel polish brush just to fill in the remainder of that nail. And I ended up, I think I did 2 coats for full opacity on this nail, and I cured each for 60 seconds in between each layer. Then my next step was to take my Indigo Nails Sugar Effect Gel, and I just went ahead and outlined that nail, once again creating the shape that I wanted and making everything look just a little bit more put together, and the lines weren't so harsh in between the colour block and also the gel polish. And then once again, when I was happy with that shape, I popped that into my LED light to fully cure that for 60 seconds. So to finish off my pointer nail, I'm going to be doing a little stripy design here. So again, with that Sugar Effect Gel and my fine detail brush, I am creating 3 lines going down on that purple part of my colour block. And I basically just go in with a random shape that I want, and then I cure that layer, and I will go in and tidy up my lines so everything is as perfect as I could possibly get it. But I'm not the greatest at freehanding lines because my hands shake and I can't quite get a grasp on it. So again, I try my hardest to get it as neat as I possibly can. And then once again with that Naio Nails Mega Gloss Gel Sealer, I'm going in to just add a glossy top coat to all of those nails. And then once again, I pop that into my LED light for 60 seconds. But guys, I just want to say how gorgeous is that glitter fairy glitter over that purple acrylic. I am absolutely in love with it. So to finish off my ring finger, I have gone ahead and already added my bling for the sake of quickness. You guys have saw me add bling to pretty much everything, so it's pretty self-explanatory, but I did just basically add some small pieces to the cuticle area, and I'm now going in with some gold foil just to fill in the rest of that purple part, and I'm basically just adding this to the sticky layer of some gel. And as you guys can see, I've also gone ahead and added some bling to my ring finger as well as my pointer finger off camera once again. If you guys would like a full tutorial on how I add my bling and things like that, let me know, and that's something that I could do for you guys, no problem at all, because let's face it, I'm a little bit of a bling addict. And then as you guys can see, I'm finishing off once again by adding a layer of that glossy top coat to all of those nails, button that top coat right up against those crystals, but making sure I do not go over the crystals because they will definitely dull their sparkle. And I just went ahead and added a band of crystals to my pointer nail as well, between where those two colours met, and once again I'm finishing that nail off with a glossy top coat as well, but my camera does not want to play with me at all and is not going to go in focus for love nor money. So yeah, it goes a little bit out of focus here, but you guys could get the gist of what I'm doing. So guys, once I had finished applying all of that top coat, I fully cured those nails for 60 seconds, and this is what the finished set looks like up close and personal. And I really hope you guys enjoyed my first set of colour block acrylic nails. I had so much fun doing these and sharing them with you guys. Remember, if you're interested in any of the products that I have used in today's video, I will go ahead and leave all of their names and the links to where you could find them linked down below for you guys to check them out for yourself. So to finish off today's video guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, I would totally appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't already, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell to be updated anytime I upload a new video. And if you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!